A couple years ago, I sent my son to my parents' house, and and the idea was it was going to be Papaw Camp. He was going to go and he was going to learn how to work. Just like when I was a kid, my parents sent me to my grandparents' house, and they said, "You're going to go and you're going to work for your Papaw, and you're going to put roofs on, and you're going to dig ditches, and when you come back, you'll know what a man's supposed to do and how he's going to work." And so the son goes off, he comes back, and work they did. They built a little park in the middle of July in Taylor, Arkansas, and they worked like dogs. And I remember when he came back home, he walked taller, he spoke with more confidence because he had been treated for a week like a man. And he thought of himself as a man. And then I remember we were getting ready for a meal, and he's still walking around with this kind of bravado that he had worked hard and he was someone different now. And he got up and said, "You know what? This meal needs some sweet tea." And so he got up and he went over to the stove and he made his own sweet tea. And I thought, he hadn't just spent the week with my dad. He had spent the week with my mom. My dad had taught him how to work, and I realized my mom, his grandmother, had taught him how to feast. And my mom has this power when she starts cooking a meal, how she can transform everything. She lives in this little small town in southern Arkansas, but she's lived in San Francisco, Chicago, Philadelphia, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and she's been all around the country. And all those places she's learned how to cook. And she brings all of that knowledge back to Taylor. And it's this beautiful thing when she sets the table, and my granddad, who, if it's not collard greens and cornbread, which is a good meal, by the way, he doesn't even know what to do with it. And he would sit at the table and go, "Deb, this isn't cornbread. I don't see any collard greens on this table." And he would be mocking the food and the expense of it. But by the end of it, he was transitioned. It was this beautiful experience where by her food, by her cooking, we all became gentler. We all became happier. It was this moment of grace where our family became something beautiful as we sat around the table and enjoyed her sweet tea, enjoyed her good meals, after, of course, we'd all worked very hard.